like you about 78%.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to tonight's show.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
y'all want to say what up?
What up,
Hey,
y'all?
Paso.
I'm
Be right
over here
back.
playing. I got some new toys, so I'm over here playing. So I might excuse me.
Just
Um,
get.
right. All right. So welcome to tonight's show. We got a great topics lined up for you guys. It is March 9th. And oh yeah, second week of March. I was about to say first week, but no, it's second week of March. We've been here before. Time is flying. Oh yeah, and daylight savings time. How y'all been dealing with daylight savings time? Been surviving? Been
Um,
suffering?
the weather turned great. Finally,
Oh yeah,
today
yeah, yeah.
we went out walking today. As a family we went out walking today.
Oh, nice, nice. See, and another benefit of daylight savings time because it wasn't dark all early.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
actually got home
I've
before it
been
got
having
dark.
I've been having that debate with somebody.
Yeah.
And they said seasonal depression is going with the darkness.
Another benefit of daylight savings time. See, exactly. So yeah, definitely. Some people there is that debate of like, is daylight savings time necessary? Is it, outdated? Should it be stopped? Should it
It's,
be continued? All the things. Um,
it's
you know,
outdated.
there's definitely benefits and caveats. You said you think it's outdated, Dang? What's your stance? Do you think they should get rid of?
They're trying to cut the head off the snake for the sun. They're trying to use
Mhm.
more sun. They're trying to get more use out of the sun during the wintertime. But as we know it, right now the farmers don't have anything to farm because the government kind of closed that up. So what's the use of having daylight savings time at this point?
Okay. What's your stance on it, Sonny?
I like that it's lighter now.
Like
It
you.
doesn't like it doesn't necessarily throw me off like most people get thrown off, like their whole day get thrown off.
Hmm.
It it was fine for me. Is it outdated or necessity? I don't even care one way or the other. Like I legit don't care either way. If you're gonna keep it, keep it. If not, not. I don't. It doesn't make me a never mind as far as whether or not it's something that we need or it's old.
Mm-mm. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, to Dame's point, this was originally supposed to be used as a way to help farmers, have the time to harvest and all that kind of thing, and try to take advantage of more sunlight, be able to move their crops and all the things. So, we're no longer in an agricultural society. We now live in a more technological society. But we still have agriculture, right? We're still one of the largest producers of certain vegetables and certain produce, and we still have a substantial farming population. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of the issue that Dane was talking about in terms of farmers running out of stuff to plant, or having issues with regulations and that kind of thing. But it's definitely one of those things. Now, modern farming, you know, does it still rely on daylight savings time as a benefit? I don't know. I guess we'd have to ask a farmer. If we had a farmer on staff. But at this point, I think it's definitely something to still think about and consider. But also, I think, like I said, like Sonny was saying, it helps when you have a longer daytime that you have to be up and out. It definitely helps with people's depression. It definitely helps with people's just their day. Being able to manage their day. I personally feel like, if the day ends, or if the sunlight ends so early, I feel like the day's over. Like I feel unproductive in the late winter, early spring. I always feel so unproductive because it's freaking nighttime at 3 p.m. So I feel like I can't get nothing done fast enough. I'm getting off work in the dark. I just want to go home, go to bed.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's good for us, our kids, because it kind of get them into it gets them like once they see dark, it's like okay, bedtime. Like I feel like bedtime might be easier
Mm-hmm.
during daylight, during the winter months than it is for the spring, because now it's you try to tell a kid to go like get ready for bed at 7 o'clock and it's still light out. Like they're like, no,
I don't got no kids. Fuck them kids. I don't know.
But when it's that dark early, it's like okay, like their body is telling them it's okay to go to sleep at. You can get them in bed, like you can get them ready about 7 o'clock. Like, come on.
I don't know. Dame's kids don't go to bed till 11 p.m. anytime of the year.
My son neither, but I'm just saying, I think it's easier for him to kind of chill out. Or
good point.
Let's go in the house.
Right.
Because it's dark.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say, being able to set that boundary for time outside, time to be, playing and doing things that are not nighttime activities like napping, sleeping, eating dinner, right? Things like that. Because I know summertime is a problem when it comes to figuring out what time to eat dinner, because your mind is thinking like, your body's feeling like, oh, it's still light outside, I can still do this and do that. Next thing you know, it's 8-9 o'clock, and then you're like, oh shoot, I got to get home and make dinner, or I gotta get dinner on the table and that kind of thing, and it's 10 o'clock at night. So yeah, no, I get that part. I definitely get that part.
Psychologically,
so yeah, I guess
psychologically too, because you go to work, it's dark. You come home, it's dark. You're like, where did daylight go? Where did day go? That's mentally that's where the mental depression comes from. It's like I can't enjoy the day. I'm stuck especially if you're stuck in the office or stuck in one location. You don't get to enjoy whatever daylight you do get. Like you live in Detroit, it's Gotham City for most of the winter. It's like all cloudy and gray. So, it does help on your mood too, because today it seems like everybody's outside doing something.
Right. Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you follow, make sure you like, share, hit all the notification bells, so you can be notified when to catch us. All right, let's move on to the next topic. This one, it was funny. I was talking to somebody I was talking to, and they were saying how they had been in a situation with someone that they had a kind of fallen out with, and that they always felt that this person was kind of dismissive about them and others, and they always found that they were one of those kind of people that you definitely have to get on their good side, or had to have some kind of impact on them to feel like that they even messed with you, let alone that you could be involved with in their time and that kind of thing. But they said that this person seemed to have been making a kind of change, had been seeming to be a little more toned down, a little bit more inviting, wanting to be more included more in things. So I brought up the question: can people really stop being mean or being dismissive and things like that? And if they seem to be making a change, would you forgive them? Would you want to see more action than just words? So does personality truly change? Is that a thing?
As a mean person, I
You got
have
some experience. I have to let you know.
Well, no, because I was mean. I was very, and I feel like sometimes I am currently, right? And I know I can come off as dismissive in certain cases, and my intention is probably not to be dismissive, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just not fully understanding the thought process behind something,
Right.
or like, because I don't want to say, sometimes I think of things logically and not emotionally, but it's a lot of stuff I do think with emotional, so I can catch myself when I'm being dismissive in that manner. But like logically, like when I'm in my logic, when I have my logical thinking cap on, I probably can catch myself, or I'm probably more dismissive then, right? Because I'm thinking logic, I'm not thinking from the thought process of where you're thinking. So you may be like, hey, this is my thoughts on this right here, this is how I feel about this, blah blah blah, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense, right? And it's dismissive because I'm really telling you, like, I don't really care. And like you have like a whole, you thought about it, you had the reasoning why you were doing this, and I'm as soon as you tell me, I'm just like, whatever, this sounds dumb. Mm-hmm. And like I have to catch myself a lot because, and I'm work in progress. I have to catch myself a lot because it's like I may think about it from a different perspective than you, but I also need to, and that's crazy because I'm one of the people that always say I can't dismiss your feelings. Oh, right. Or try to check myself before I dismiss someone's feelings. But sometimes, you know, me and my logic could just be like that, you know, stricken rules. It's nonsense. I can't be a part of it. So I have to catch myself. I think not necessarily, I mean, you can change if you do the work. If you, I feel like you can change whatever it is you need to change about yourself. If you, one, identify the problem, hold yourself accountable to know that, like I said, to understand what you're doing, even if it's not your intention. You could do something that doesn't mean your intention, but if 5 people tell you you dismiss their feelings, you got to check yourself, and you got to have accountability with that and understand that, hey, I do this. I have to catch myself sometimes. So let me hear you out thoroughly and understand your thinking process on this. And then and when I fully understand where you're at with it, I gotta apologize because I didn't, like, off the bat, it wasn't my intention, but now I really got to give you like a genuine apology. You know, So like you can correct.
But being self-aware of what
you're doing. Being self-aware is a lot because I catch myself, and then in the moment sometimes I get in the moment where it's like almost like a standoff of silence because it's like you over here doing your shit again, and I'm like, oh God, okay, so now I realize it's a problem, but then it's also having somebody call you out on it.
Right.
Because if you're not understanding the cue of you missed the mark, right? Or you going against the grain and not really fully understanding the ideal or the thought process behind it, you got to have people that give a fuck enough about you to be like, hey, you know, you did this and it made me feel this way. Because some people will allow you to do that and never say nothing to you and expect you to change. You don't know it, and because you're not aware. Like it may not be something that you're doing like just to be mean. It may be just your personality, right? And because nobody has ever told you that this is not good, or you're not aware enough to know that it's not good, you got to kind of catch yourself. Right. And it's good to have people that be like, hey, no, you can't do that.
No, that's the important thing, is having people around you. Because like if you're not self-aware enough to realize how you're affecting others, having somebody there to kind of put you in check, or to at least like enlighten you and give you like a little tap on the shoulder, like, hey, you know, rest in bitch faces in effect again, or you got, you know, whatever it is, you know, whatever method that they use to kind of give you the heads up. That's important too.
Yeah. And like you can correct your behavior and be more mindful. Like I just said this yesterday. Sometimes I don't wrap things in a neat bow and give it to you as a gift. Like if you're my friend, you come to me and vent. Now I won't offer advice, right? I'll let you vent, and then I'll check your temperature to see if I should. Are you like kind of get that gauge that am I just here to listen, or would you like advice? Because you know how I am about my advice, and if I know, like I know people around me that are sensitive about things. But I'm like, like when you come to me, you seek my advice, you know, where I'm coming from is not a place of maliciousness.
But do you preface with the people that you know are a little softer or that are a little more sensitive? Do you preface that advice, or do you just like, hey, they asked me, they about to get it?
No, I don't. I just kind of sit and listen. And then when you ask, I'm like, you sure you want me to, you know? But sometimes I don't even offer advice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, like when they ask for it, are you prefacing your advice with like, hey, you know, I'm about to go off, or you know, I'm about to give it to you, or do you just give it to them? And
no, I make a face because it's like,
she said I make a face.
No, because like don't ask me, and you like then you telling me you can't talk to me, and that's like, no, you can. You just know that if you come to me and you ask me, you know, I ain't with no bullshit out there, and I know you. Do you want me to have this conversation as a person that love you, or do you want me to dance around and act like it's not a problem?
Yeah,
Like,
Sonny, like,
so,
you just gotta deal with this with this ass whooping I'm about to give you.
well, not that. It's just like, do you want me?
Damn
Trying to hit me? Things they just try to hit me.
Oh.
But like, yeah, but like, my thing is like you said, you know who you're going to.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I go to certain people, they're gonna give it to me real raw and uncut.
Right.
But if I'm asking you, because I know how you're about to give it to you, you're not about to no chaser. I need that type of energy, and I know who to go to when I need that. Mama, let me tell you, like that soft thing. Oh God, he's upset. I'll be right back.
All right, Dane, what's your thoughts?
It depends on. You can change. It's a lot of work in progress, depending on how deeply rooted and embedded, I guess that trait is. Not just being mean, but being nice, caring. Anything that you want to change. If it's deeply rooted into your system, it's going to be very hard to change that because I had to try to change a lot of negative thinking I had on my end.
Okay.
Personally,
right.
You can't always. I can't always fall back to default mode. I can hope for the best, but be realistic about it. You know what I'm saying? Everything's not going to come out with cherries on top. But as far as what Sonny was saying, I would say it depends on the tone and talk that you're having with that person. Like you can tell somebody, "Hey, I think you came off this type of way." Depending on the conversation that you're trying to have with that person, you can be like, you can tell them, "Hey, I think you was kind of foul out of pocket with this. I mean, not trying to cause no controversy or no beef between each other. Just trying to tell them like, hey, I think you was just out of line.
Right.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody, hey, you was wrong in that situation. Now, if they do it publicly, no, that's wrong. But you take them to the side or talk to them later, like, hey, man.
Oh no, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point because I think that's one of the things that that can go wrong in a situation like that is that a person might feel like, oh, why you put me on blast or why you trying to come at me around these other people. We could have talked about this on the side or we could have had a one-on-one conversation about this, but they choose to be more, like you say, like open. And then I think that also creates a thing where people get hyped up because they feel like, oh, I got some backup. I mean, it's one thing to do an intervention. It's another thing to gang up on somebody.
Right. Then that person will feel defensive and cornered. Of course, they're going to attack even furthermore because they feel like they're outnumbered. They ain't got nobody's support and everybody's against them. And if you can read the room and you know that person that you're with or hanging out with, and you can read their body language, you can read their face, like they be like, like, no, stop. Stop the conversation. Like, you be like, oh, I'm gonna divert this conversation now. I'm gonna stop talking.
Right.
And we're gonna discuss this later.
And that's, I think that's the most appropriate thing, especially if you want to. I mean, not to say you have to be calling them out, but like you said, making them understand how you feel, making them understand where you're coming from, where your thought process is, or even just saying, hey, did you mean this the way you said it, or did you mean this the way this is coming off? Because sometimes it could be a misunderstanding in terms of, like, somebody being, like Sonny said, being tough love versus just being like, you messed up and I'm about to put you on the, put the flame put you to the fire rather,
Either one of you or both of you have misread the room and the tone and temperature, and y'all both miscommunicated something. Something happened. Like, hey, what did you mean by this? I need some clarification. Something.
Right.
You don't do it in front of people, of course, because that's just, man, that's open up a can of Sunny.
Well, I mean, I think.
Hold on, don't do that.
Yeah, I think you can bring it up around other people, but I think there's not a lot of people who know how to do that either respectfully or with minimal, like, putting you out there. It's more like, I don't know. It's a delicate thing. I think that's what I'm saying. You know, I think it's a very delicate thing if you don't really know how to bring this up or confront somebody without confronting them. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
that's the
No,
problem.
that's when you supposed to like. So if you have, and this is my biggest issue, is that a lot of people dance around being upset by something.
Beat around the bush. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to add myself into that because I feel like you, to an extent, it's like if I tell you, like at some point you're going to do something, and I'm going to tell you, like in some way that I don't like that, right?
Right.
And then I'll probably explain to you why I don't like it.
Right.
Now, if I've told you already and you keep doing it, then I know that that's just who you are. You don't want to change. You're okay with how you're doing life, and that's fine for you. Doesn't work for me, right? So
Right.
then for me, I'll separate myself because we have to learn, like we have to learn to speak up for ourselves. Like I said, I'm myself included. And we have to know how to, because my therapist always says to me, she's like, why do you not address things? I'm like, I do address things, but I'm not going to repeatedly keep telling you what you're doing is bothering. I'll probably say it once, maybe twice. I'll even potentially try to fix it with you. But when you can't acknowledge what you have done or like acknowledge where we're at with it, then okay, so I'm never going to bring it up again.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you do it, it's going to piss me off, right?
Right.
If I keep myself in your space in some way, shape, or form. But that's going to eventually lead to me doing one or two things: stepping away completely, or something's going to happen where it's going to be that one thing you do. You broke a pencil, now all hell's broken loose. Because I've been building up to like I've been telling you this is a problem. You're just like no. And I'm like no, it's a problem. I've been no, because it is. And then you just like no. And now that you broke my pencil, fuck you. This is why I never liked you. Not, I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? But it opens the floodgate to resentment and all the things that you should have been said that you never said because it's just like all bets are off. You're mad, and I don't want to be that person that I'm that mad that now I'm just going off. I would rather walk away and never speak to you again.
Right. Right.
That's
now. Now I was gonna say, you have to set boundaries for yourself. We always talk about setting boundaries, but we also have to understand that maybe your boundaries or something that sets you off that's very important to you might not be that important, or to the perception of the person that's offending you might not be that big to them in their eyes. They might say, Sonny loves these pencils, but I'm gonna break them anyway because it's not a big deal. It's just a freaking pencil. You know what I'm saying? But then you keep telling them, hey, I go through a lot of trouble of getting these pencils, set up. I put a lot of time and effort in these pencils. Leave them alone. Then they, just add on to your example. It might not be important to them, but to you, it's the world. You still have to set your boundaries and understand.
Yeah. And I think it's on top of that, it's heavy on you got to tell people when they do something that bother you, because they'll never know. Like if they're not aware, they will never know, and then they're gonna keep doing the thing that you don't like because you've never said anything.
Well, because people don't confrontation and they don't like having hard conversations.
Yeah.
That's for people who don't. If you can't take criticism, welcome to the adult world. That's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes you just gotta be understand that not everybody's gonna be on the same level as you. Just take the criticism. Or whatever something's bothering somebody, just be like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Well, this is the thing though. Like if let's say I'm the kind of person that can take the criticism, but maybe I'm coming off towards somebody that a way that they don't like. What if they're still afraid to say something because they don't know if I could take the criticism? Or what if they think that the way I'm talking, that I'm too passionate about this particular subject to allow them the space to give me the criticism,
Yeah.
This is what you do.
Yeah. That makes sense.
You put people in boxes. Like I know certain people I don't hang with on certain levels. Like I stick to you with certain recreation and outside of work or whatever, or some people just stay at work and you just stick to that. Like it's some people I have no interaction with outside of anything besides guess what they're there for. You know what I'm saying? Some people are there for sports, some people are there for games, some people are there for movies and entertainment, dinner, go on
But
vacations.
what if you want to grow the relationship, or what if the reason that you're even interacting with them is the reason that you normally put them in that box for, but now you're having this feeling like, oh, something's either different, or maybe it's a certain thing that's happening, or whatever the case may be. I went to a restaurant with somebody one time, and we normally go to restaurants and everything's normally fine, but one time they did something that made me really upset, that really like pissed me off, and I was just like, bruh, like this is not for me, this situation. I didn't love them less, or I didn't feel like, but I definitely know that the way I ended up acting towards them, they felt it, and they recognized that I was not happy. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come to me and say, hey, Will, why you feel like this, or why you do this. I think they knew why I felt the way I did, even though they didn't take the accountability for their action. I think that they just recognized that whatever happened, I was not happy. I was definitely pissed off. And I'm guessing that they didn't say something because either they felt like, you know what, I'm just let this go, or they felt like it wasn't a space that they wanted to have a conversation with me about it.
Yeah, and I think people be knowing what they be doing, and why I gotta tell your grown ass what you did that made me mad.
Well, there's that too. I mean, I try not to ever be like that with people. I'm more than willing, unless it's something that's blatant, where it's not just blatant, where it's more like a repeat offense. Repeat offenses, I'm not about to sit here and have this conversation with you over and over again. Blatant or something that I think no one will accept, I think will feel that way too. But when it comes to just something that I think rubs me the wrong way, or happen to rub me the wrong way, I'm more than willing to give them that benefit of the doubt, because I think one thing I've learned about people is perspective. People have their own perspective, their own viewpoint, and it's coming from their own lens. It's not coming from your lens. It's not coming from everybody else's lens. They could seem like the most cut dry standard issue person, but in this one instance, this could be something that they're looking at it laser focused from their lens only. So you kind of got to give them, well, at least in my opinion, you kind of got to give them the benefit of the doubt that they may just not realize that this one thing pissed you off or made you treat them a little different in this situation.
Because everybody's not socially not dealing with the social matters. They're not just perceptive. They're not they can't, some people can't read the room at all. They like just go full bore and being stupid without somebody, somebody sometimes have to tell them, or they're just a habitual line stepper, as what is it? Charlie, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Oh, Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy said, habitual line stepper. Some people just don't know when to stop, or they're actually a work in progress. They're like, man, I'm sorry. I'm really trying to work on myself. I'm trying to do better. If I'm doing this, just please let me know. People like that, I'm willing to give more leeway than people who know what they're doing and just,
They could care less, basically.
Yeah. It's like, whatever. It's me.
I don't know. I think it's more people who don't realize that they have crossed some line or did something wrong. Then, I mean, unless you're just that kind of person, not that kind of person, unless you just have that kind of circle around you that people are just running around being habitual line steppers all the time, which I know some people like that. They not to say they surround themselves with people like that, but they have surrounded themselves with people like that, and they just either they don't realize it, or they just don't care that they got these people who really don't like them or really don't get along as a group or as a contingent. So I think that's the thing, is like, are you realizing that the people that you're hanging around, or maybe just that one person, is just not really your person or not really your people, or maybe they changed. That's the other thing. Has a person changed in the opposite direction? Because talking about somebody trying to change for the better, you got people who out here who will change for the worse. And let's just be honest, this society, this social atmosphere that we're in can kind of cause that.
Right.
Yeah, that's facts. People do change for the worse, and I feel like when you're changing for the worse, you're not in a good space.
Yeah. And it could be that.
And
It could be the fact that they're not in a good space that has caused them to kind of change for the worse. They might feel like, like, oh, this is a perfect example. It's the people who are in these long-term friendships where they're the only one not meeting their success goals, or they're not meeting the what they think is the not the plateau, but the peak of what everybody else is meeting, or they're not growing at the same rate as somebody else, or people who are in a family situation, but all their friends stay single and progress their careers, and now they feel like, oh, these kids or this family situation has kind of held me back because all I do is family, and y'all are out here having a great time, y'all living life, y'all going on lavish trips and doing these things. And it's like, yeah, I think people who get in those situations, sometimes they start to spiral and come out looking like they're mean, nasty, or going to the bad side because they feel like y'all are doing too much because I'm not where y'all at, that kind of thing.
That's why you should never look at somebody else's situation and think, man, I got to keep up with them, or their situation is special. Facts. They went through like you. I'm catching up to you. Like, I got another 18 years with the whole family situation, because my kids are younger than your kids. Your kids are grown out the nest. You got grandkids now. My life situation is very different from yours. I'm not jealous. I'm not mad. It's just that you started doing things differently than me. So it's just having the maturity to recognize Will's not the bad guy. He did things totally different from me. I started late. He started earlier than me. So you cannot fault Will for starting his family before I started mine.
Well, and then you're gonna have those people, right? That feel like, oh, I'm in this situation where I did things either opposite of everybody else or whatever the case may be, right? You're right. I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like, I think we have to realize it's not the other person's fault that they're at a place that you want to be at, or that you seem to think that everybody else needs to be at. Like, no, I think we all got to recognize we all are at our own pace. And I think, like, a person who's in that situation hopefully will recognize that and kind of point it out, like, hey, we all doing our own things. You're doing your thing. We respect that, because I think definitely a person who either takes their time, now you got me thinking about another question, takes their time to get to where they want to be, sometimes is in that space a little more comfortable, or at least a little bit more established. Because I know me myself, being an early parent, being a person that definitely did adult things really early. There's a lot of caveats to that. I struggled a lot. I had a lot of hard work I had to do to both raise a family and work a job and run a business. It was hard, trying to raise kids while you're running a business. It's hard enough. And then you got to have, extracurriculars come up in the middle of you trying to grow either your business or your career. There's so much to that, and that's the thing that people at the end of it don't really see either. They might feel like, oh, I wish I was there. But do you know what I had to go through to get to that part, But also somebody looking at your situation and not realizing, like, hey, you didn't jump up and have a bunch of kids while you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do with life. And now that you got, life kind of figured out, now you got kids. Now you're doing it in a more comfortable space and being able to be like, all right, I got, a family, a full blown family. I'm not out here trying to chase down baby mamas. I'm not out here trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's got their own thing in their own space that they are in. Don't be mad, and also don't be jealous because you don't know what that person went through to get to what you think is so great about their life. But yeah. All right.
Yeah.
next up, let's go to a little funny one here. Um, Let me see if I can share this properly. I've been getting a little brave with these little videos, but I'm gonna show this one.
Oh
Um,
shit.
so okay, here we go. So this is a video I saw on Instagram. That a woman attempts to go into a bank to go use the ATM.
I saw this.
Oh, did it stop? Oh, there we go. Like that's crazy. Another
Did like
lady
the
coming to
door
try to help.
completely fall off?
Yeah, that literally fell off the hinge or something. Like it looks like the door is kind of like ajar, but it's not really like you
It
can't
was the
tell that
opposite door. That's not even the door she touched.
it's not. It's like the other door. Yeah, like crazy. Like people are like in the comments, like, yeah, like she about to own that bank. Like, what would you do in that situation?
Play dead and have a nice ride to the ambulance to the hospital.
Oh, for sure, definitely about to ride in the ambulance. Like, oh
Cut
my
the
back,
check. I'm
my
about to
neck.
own TD Bank.
Exactly. Oh, that was TD Bank, wasn't it? I just caught that. I just caught the door handle.
Cut the check.
What would you do, Dame? You cut you waiting on the check to get cut, or you gonna try to get up out of that thing?
Both. Then you should know this one, Will. It's not Nick Woods. I'm calling Top Dog Law.
Right.
Oh, we got Top Dog Law in Philly.
Oh yeah, they do. They do.
Those commercials. Ththose commercials. That's all I gotta say.
Right.
Those radio
right.
commercials.
I know somebody that hates those commercials. They be like, it's so just ghetto. I'm like, yeah, they trying to appeal to a certain
They
demographic.
also have commercials. I actually saw one. I
Oh,
was
like
like,
actually,
Yeah,
like
wait
like
a
video
goddamn minute.
commercials.
They got
Yeah, they got
commercials
TV
now.
commercials now.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Stick to the radio. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, definitely. I'm about to just lay down, just like lay down, act like you did. Like, Carter, don't help me, lady. Don't help me. Just go call the ambulance.
No. Hey,
Take
here's my
take a
phone.
picture of my
Video
phone first.
recorded.
Like, exactly.
Record
Take
it.
a picture of my phone, a recording, everything, and then go call the.
Listen, Will, I'm calling Top Dog Law. I'm calling Lee Free, Sam Bernstein. I'm calling Attorney Carl Collins. He is good. I'm calling everybody.
Seriously, bro. Seriously. Oh man, that's crazy. I ain't never seen a thing like that before. But hey.
I'm like, while I'm under there, I'll be like, I take 20s.
Right. Exactly. That's the thing.
Now I'm gonna have that interpreter for that Rihanna had and be saying, "A bitch better have my money."
Right. All right. Let me see if I can get away with this one.
Nah, she was fire. She was fire. I don't think Will know what I'm talking about.
What was that?
Son, how do you think you doing that for son?
No, Rihanna, when she did the Super Bowl, she had a sign language interpreter doing like signing her songs. Right. And I posted in my story to the one who the girl who did she sung "Bitch Better Have My Money," and she was in there like signing it, but the way she was doing it, it was fire.
Oh really? Oh okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. Oh, I think I saw that performance, but maybe I just don't remember. Yeah, that's crazy.
She did one with Jenny Kimball too. She went in his house. Rihanna went in his house and woke him up to "Better Have My Money."
Oh really? Oh okay. Yeah. All right, so I got another one here. I'm about to see if I can do this, and gotta unmute it first, and then show y'all this little video. All right, and I think I already got the thing here. All right, so this one is a couple spots a for sale sign and decide to walk on in. Let's see. Oh, I don't know why this video is so slow. Oh, is it gonna repeat? Hold on. I just want the video. I don't want the commentary. Sorry, y'all. This thing is always acting stupid. All right, let's see if this works. Like, why I want to have technical difficulties all of a sudden?
Of course, why not?
And we can't call IT because you IT.
Right, right. Okay, let's see now. Hopefully y'all can hear it. Nope, I don't think y'all can hear it. Why can't you hear
Nope.
it? Why can't you hear it? Let me see.
This reminds me of a Big Bang Theory when they were like, well, why don't you guys call IT when they were doing that fixing that what's it called, the drone, and then
Right.
they end up breaking it, and then they had to call, and they're like, we don't call IT, we whatever, and then they end up
Right,
calling
like they
everything.
are IT, right. All right, so maybe something's wrong with the sound, but basically what's happening here is this couple decided to go house hunting, and they end up going to a home that had a for sale sign in front, and so they walked up to the door. Door was open, so they opened the door. The guy knocked on the door after he opened it and was like, "Hello." And so then the guy inside started yelling at him like, "What are you? Why the hell did you open my door? What are you doing here? Why would you do that? What's wrong with you?" And went off and was like, the guy was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was an open house, or I thought it was for sale." And he was like, "It is for sale, but you don't just walk into my house." And then the guy that walked in was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. My bad." And as you can see, the wife was trying to walk away, but he definitely was getting a good yelling at. Do you think the homeowner's wrong? Do you think the browser is wrong, the person that went in, or do you or what's your thoughts on that? You see a for sale sign. What you doing?
Calling the number below. I'm not walking into a house, like that's just weird and crazy. Who does that?
Mm-hmm. What you think, Dame?
I'm with Sonny.
I know you just.
I'm with Sonny.
Or actually,
Like,
both of y'all. Well, no, I think Dame's probably had bought a house a little later than you, Sonny. So I know Dame. That's what, about 5-6 years ago. So what did you do when you was buying a house? Did you just walk in? Did you call numbers?
No, we had a realtor. One, she'd be like, "I got the key. You sure? Okay. You got to, you got the little block boxes on the door." So
That's a good point.
We good. So it's like, I'm not walking in people's houses. That's how you get unalived. It's just like, no.
True that. Yeah. I mean, in the comments, people were making comments about like, why did the guy have his door unlocked? You got a for sale sign up. Why are you leaving your door unlocked and not expecting people to walk in?
Right.
And definitely, I think that it's not his fault that his door is unlocked. That's what he probably, like you said, Dame, he probably was expecting people to do, or like Sonny was saying, call the number or bring their realtor or something like that, not just pop in and just walk into the house. I think the other thing about this,
by appointment only.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what I want to know. I want to know what the sign said. I want to know what the sign looked like, because I've seen some confusing signs. Like I had recently was on the market and was looking for a house, and I was in different neighborhoods. There were some neighborhoods where it was clear that these were one-off houses that happened to be for sale, that looked either occupied or looked like they, were for sale by owner or whatever the case may be. And it made sense to just make the phone call. But there was a couple, and it was like this one situation. It's kind of funny how it kind of worked out. But there was this realtor that had a bunch of different listings where the homes were for sale in one particular neighborhood or one particular area. So we were going from like one house to the next, just checking out the outside of them. If we could see the back, we might go around the back or whatever to like circle, like, because the way the streets was made, you could go around the block and you could see the back of the house. So we were doing that. And then there was one house where I think they had a sign that said they had an open house, but it didn't have. It was something that was missing about the open house timing. I think it might have just said Sunday's open house, and we were out there on a Sunday. So I think we were looking, and so we kind of got out and looked, but it didn't look like anybody was really there. And then all of a sudden, this guy walks out, and we're like, "Oh, hey!" He was like, "Yeah." We was like, "Oh, we was just looking at the house, and we saw the sign." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, we were supposed to have an open house, but we didn't do it." Blah blah blah. So he was upfront that he wasn't the homeowner, but he also wasn't the realtor. He was like, I'm basically here house sitting. He's like, you can look at it, but I really can't, give you much more than the card and the flyer for the information. But it was like one of those situations where the sign said open house. Now, had that guy, let's say, been in the back or upstairs or something like that, and we just walked in, they couldn't be mad at us for walking in because it says open house. You know what I'm saying? Now, me personally, I would have knocked and been like, hey, make sure, because especially if it's an open house, I want the door to be open, but if the door is closed and it's not looking, very lively, then I'm definitely not about to I'm not personally about to just walk in. Because like you said, Dame, that's, not a good way to or it's a bad way to end up, but I think, some people were like, oh, it's culture, because I don't know if you noticed with that couple was Indian. And I don't think it's culture. I think either there was a problem with that sign because the guy did say, I thought it was an open house. Also, I think it's the problem of you go into certain areas and there's certain ways people are doing things and you just kind of expect everybody to be doing the same thing. I'm thinking like, if I go around, I can see all these houses. I'm going to pull up in front of your house. I'm going to pull in your driveway. I'm going to look around, because your house is on this listing and it don't look like nobody's here. So I'm not going to walk in, but I'm not about to not pull in your driveway. Somebody could get mad about that. You know what I'm saying? But you put your house on the market and it's being sold through somebody that said, go by there, go look at it, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I remember when I was house searching, I had a couple houses I went to that people was living in them while I was walking. I'm like, I didn't want to walk around. You in here chilling. And I'm like sit on the couch watching TV. I'm walking through and the realtor like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, this is awkward.
They did that weird?
Yeah, when I went to look at a house, I looked at two like that. People were still living there. And they were talking to me like while somebody was sitting on the couch watching TV. I'm like, okay, this is weird.
Oh, that's really weird. Like they were letting them be there.
Yeah, I literally was walking around and stuff. Like the one house, the people owned it, so they were showing me the house. Like they lived there, but like they had it set up like you could come look at the house.
Right.
Like they weren't like they both were like walking around. Both of them were realtors. They were walking around. This crazy enough. This is the house I bought. Like I came here. They lived here, but like they had it staged, like set up to go for people to come look at their house. Right. And like both of them walked me around and talked about the house and said some stuff, blah blah blah. It was cool, but it was a whole other thing to go to another house and see somebody sit on the couch watching TV. It's crazy.
Right? Yeah. That's crazy. I definitely would have been shocked and like, what the heck? Like, what's going on? I mean, I've definitely been in houses where it looked very lived in. Walked in a house where, I mean, all the furniture is still there, clothes. There was laundry in the laundry room, like they were just finishing up laundry and ran out, like all the things. And then even when I sold my house, I ended up I've staged it a little bit, so I took a lot of stuff out, took a lot of my stuff down because I definitely didn't want people to know that I was Black. But, I definitely had stuff. No, that's the truth, bro. I'm telling you, you can't sell a house to a Black person. You just can't.
Yeah.
You just don't do that.
I know.
Yeah, you gotta wipe the Black away in your home. You can't have ethnic stuff up because people will not buy your house. Even Black people won't buy your house. Like this, just facts. You just can't sell your house as a Black. So long story short, I had furniture in there. You could tell it was a man living there. That I couldn't, wipe away. But I had, little furniture here and there, bed set up, stuff like that. But everything else was kind of stripped out of there. So people could tell I was living there, but I tried to make it as less lived in as possible. And then I was out looking for houses where people were like, they didn't care. They had pictures up of the family. There was pictures, there was statues, and there was some lady had like a shrine made up or something. like for her dead relatives, that was weird. So it was just like, I'm like, yo, realtor didn't tell you to stage this lady? Like, what's going on? There was another family that had 43 couches in a house just on the first 2 floors. I was like, that's crazy. But you know, they love couches.
They counted, they said it was 42.
No, that's how many it felt like. It felt like 42 couches and 13 dressers just on the first 2 floors. Every room had 2 couches and a dresser in it. It like literally every
Were you
room.
in Dearborn? Were you in Dearborn?
I'm not about to talk about what people and what I'm not about to do that. Don't be getting me involved in that, Dave. Don't be getting me involved in that. All I'm saying is it happened because I definitely went in the basement and there was like a whole room set up with like wall-to-wall couches. It was like boom, 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 just a bunch of couches. I was like, damn, dog.
2 love seats, 2 sofas.
How many couches y'all need up in here? But you know, I
Was it 2 love seats and 2 sofas?
No, it was just all sofas all day, bro. All sofas.
Making it worse. You're making it worse.
I don't know. It was interesting, but I definitely think that, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't think it was a culture thing 100%. It could have been, you know, because some people are like, yeah, they don't know that they're not supposed to. And it's like, okay, maybe they don't know because they live in a not culture to where their family's from, but culture to where they're from, where they live at. You know, they might be live in the kind of area where people are open, you know, having an open house and they just open the door. You just come right in. Or they might be, like I said, been in an area where that's how they were selling the houses. Or this guy really could have had a sign that said open house and just forgot his sign said open house, because people do that all the time. So, but like you said, Sonny, maybe it said call by appointment. You know, who knows? So yeah, they got their asses cussed out though, for sure. They learned real quick. Call that number at the bottom. So yeah, for sure. All right, so next up, this is another like interesting one. Not interesting, but just like silly. This is silly. I really should do another one besides this, but this one just caught my eye because at first I thought it was like nothing really to it. I just was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. But then but the plot twist was epic. All right, so young lady says she took a trip to Mexico. Even though, you know, it was supposed to be a girls' trip, but everybody else canceled because of, you know, the civil unrest happening in Mexico. She went ahead and went. She said she wasn't about to lose out on her time off, and, you know, she wanted to get away. So she had an amazing time, wasted the whole trip, came back with stories for days and a nice suntan. So she said when she got back, she was telling her husband all about the trip, and she showed him this picture. She was holding this iguana and everything. And so he was like, you know, how much did you pay for this picture? And she said she told him 100. And he was like, 100 what? And she was like, I told him $100. He was like, I know you can't be that slow. Who pays $100 for a picture with their own phone on one picture? And then she was like, me, because that's what the man said it cost. He turned to me and said with a stone face, babe, the man probably said 100 pesos, not $100. And she said she got mad because she didn't know that Mexico had different money. Aren't they part of the United States?
She sound like Orange.
Definitely sound like Orange.
I talked to the president of Puerto Rico.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh my God. And then I'm mad she black and she said this out loud in the public.
She said this in public, yeah. And then still saying feeling confused. Like, how you confused? You don't know. Oh. You don't know where you at. You don't know where you're taking a trip to Mexico. You don't know where you are. But you know, that's the thing. People be going to these places and don't know where they are. That, you know, I was going, I think it was on a cruise, and I heard people talking about how they didn't know that because they had went to Mexico to a resort before, and they were like, yeah, you know, I had to check if I needed a passport because I was shocked to find out I needed a passport to go to Mexico the last time I went. And it's like, what? Like, you went on land to Mexico and you thought you didn't need a passport? And I'm like thinking like, oh, maybe they mean like, oh, they didn't know if they needed a passport or an enhanced license or something like that. Because you can use an enhanced license to go to Canada, and I think at one point you could go with Mexico. But long story short, I thought these people really didn't know that they couldn't go to Mexico without a passport or citizenship papers to show that they were United States citizens. They thought Mexico was part of the United States too. That's what my summation was. But yeah, some people don't know that Puerto Rico is a United States territory. They don't even know what that means. Some people think Mexico is a state. That's what I've been finding out lately. How they think Mexico is a state? Maybe they're confused by New Mexico. I don't know. So weird.
I was just getting ready to say that. Maybe they're confusing it with New Mexico. They just not understanding. It's not translating. But like, ma'am, I'm pretty sure you used the passport to get there.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't understand how you, child. I'm just mad that she's melanin and that this happened to her, and like she is confused, and like that fact that she don't know, it just.
Yeah, some people need a geography lesson before they go traveling. Like this is when it's important to have a travel agent. This is definitely when it's important to have a travel agent when you don't know what you're doing.
I'm very sad for her.
Very, very.
I'm very sad for her and Orange because I want to know who he talked to when he was in Puerto Rico. I really want to know. I really would love to have sat there and watch him talk to the president.
Talked to the president. He was talking to the president.
No bueno. No bueno. Perfect conversation. Perfect English. He spoke very perfect.
They're eating the dogs.
Right.
Bruh. So, gotta be a little darker for that one.
messing around with Orange, bro. Commander Cheeto. That was my word for him, Commander Cheeto. Messing around Commander Cheeto. No, my favorite is there's a social media lady who does different reports and stuff, and she calls them YSAP. Y'all stupid ass president.
Hey yo. Now I follow the girl on TikTok that basically she always say stuff that the president said out loud, and she voices over it, but it's
I think I've seen that.
The black girl, her hair be nice as hell, and she be just saying stuff he said, but like how she does it is hilarious. I love her.
Mm-hmm. And it's like what? But it's like
this really be stuff that he said out loud in public.
Just like bruh. What's up, sir? Almost look like your daddy down there. You your daddy's son for real. All right. Let's go.
Yeah, Murray's not needed for this one.
Next up. So I wish I had the article that goes with this so I can fully explain it. But basically, the black high fashion problem. Is it the consumer or the company? So the reason this came up is if you guys are familiar with Polo Ralph Lauren and their HBCU / Martha's Vineyard collection for Oak Bluffs collection. It came out, right? I think it was early last year. It came out, very, very, very well put together collection. Also was designed and the director of the project was HBCU graduate. All the things they did everything the right way. But it's also Polo Ralph Lauren, and this is limited edition, right? So it was expensive, right? It was not $40 or $60. They had t-shirts for $60, $80 for t-shirts. Pullovers were like $180. They had some pants that were like a couple $100, things like that, right? So there was a young man who, I think the company is called Active Black or Actively Black. He was, giving props to the project, giving props to Polo for how they pulled it off, giving props to the young man that headlined and designed the Oak Bluffs collection and everything. But his problem was the support in how black high fashion is getting less support when they're independent companies and smaller fashion houses compared to a larger fashion house like Polo, like Gucci, like Prada, things like that. and feeling like they're getting either the short end of the stick when it comes to support from Black people, or feeling like they aren't getting the publicity that these larger companies are getting. Because you got to think, Polo Ralph Lauren, they put out this collection, everybody was talking about it. It was all over social media, it was all over the news, all the things. Actively Black does a limited drop. He had a really nice collection of sweatshirts and things like that. He had a really nice collection of workout gear. What do you call it? Track suits and things like that. And, you know, of course, he's got to do all that promotion himself. So he got to pay out of pocket. He was saying how he was giving back to the community. He was saying how he was doing these things that would be beneficial to everybody involved, all the things, you know, paying his people right and all the kind of stuff, including Black farmers in his supply chain, that kind of thing. So he's like, I'm doing all the things. Why am I not getting the same respect and the same, you know, looks from Black people that you're giving to Polo Ralph Lauren? They're selling out in hours. It's taking me days, or it's taking me weeks, or I'm not selling out at all because y'all are going over here to Prada, Gucci, and Polo. Do you think it's the consumer? Do you think it's the company? What do you think is the issue here with Black high fashion?
With economics, it's who you know and what the public knows. Ralph Polo, they have a track record. They have a long track record going back a few decades now. So people are going to go with what they know and trust and feel comfortable with. Not to mention the person's not Black. So that has a big factor as well. People don't usually bet on Black artists, such as, for some reason, Sean John, he won out, and for a while, remember FUBU, they were good for a minute.
Right.
So it's like,
and they had actual names behind them, not just good product. They had actual celebrity names behind them.
Right. They had somebody who they can know and back. It's not just a product, like how good the quality of the product is, comfort. Like, you don't, like, who actually bought a Tesla when it first came out? Not until you found out who was backing Tesla. Like, oh, okay, we got some celebrities buying Teslas now, energy efficient cars, electric cars. You know, not until like other people start buying it, that's when it got popular.
Or that might not even be a good example. I think Tesla had a lot of money behind it to pump. I think a better example is Toyota, the Prius. Yeah. If you remember back in the day, I know this is probably predates a lot of people's knowledge of electric cars. The Prius was one of those cars that didn't get no love in the car community or from car buyers until they had celebrity endorsement. To your point, Dane, it took celebrities and it took bigger budgets to push that product out there.
And a crazy movie called The Other Guys. I don't know if you ever seen the movie The Other Guys. There's a joke in there where he bought a Tesla and some homeless people, they called it a soup kitchen when a whole bunch of homeless people get in your car and have sex in it. They called it a soup kitchen. So
reminds me out of left field. Dang, we love you.
Yeah.
We love you. I feel like of course. As soon as I get ready to talk to you, come on. No, but I feel like with Black owned businesses, I don't want to say like that. I think a lot of them do get kind of pushed to the wayside because they, you know, do you put the time, effort, stuff, you're going to price it the way you feel like you want to price it, right? Whereas with these bigger name companies, they can have sales because they can afford to slash prices and have these kind of different kind of sales to get people to buy stuff, and they also can get people to buy it for regular price, right? When you're starting out as a Black entrepreneur, unfortunately, you have to come with prices that's going to make it make sense for you. So you're not handing out deals until you get to a certain place
revenue
established that you can comfortably do that. So if you're having somebody spend a certain amount of dollar amount of thing, then and on top of that, they don't really know your brand. Let's we support Black. but we don't really know your brand and how your clothes work or how they are like the material behind them. Yes, you can say it's this and stuff like that. Like even, and I crack up because some people, like when people say where can they buy good jeans from, it's places that I know I can buy good jeans from. You can wash them a million times and they're fine. Like Levi's, everybody can wear Levi's. Levi's are very good made jeans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whereas if you buy certain other jeans from another company, they might not hold up as long, right? So it's a number of things that kind of stack it against them. But if they did have the celebrity backing, like a lot of these major companies do, I think they would probably be better, especially like as far as like especially with like the but then it depends because like you could have brands. Somebody's got some people hire brand ambassadors to rock their brand.
Right.
Even starting on a lower level of getting your stuff out there, getting somebody that like it's a lot of Black podcasters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That are well known, right? That you can have wear your merchandise and people like, well, where'd you get that? Blah. So like you kind of got to think outside the box with advertising, but then you got to be able to afford.
Yeah.
Too, because a lot of these people that do advertising, you get stuff for free just to wear to promote.
But that's part of your marketing plan and your marketing budget, right? You know, you got to be ready if you're going to start a business like this where you're already in full-blown competition with well-known established brands, with other brands that are up and coming like yours is, that may be doing similar things that you're doing. Even if you're like, I'm trying to do all the things right, I'm trying to support other Black businesses, I'm trying to support Black farmers, I'm trying to support education, I'm trying to support the community, I'm trying to do this. I don't know. Me, myself, personally, I think you may be doing too much supporting and not enough thinking about how are you going to get this brand off the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I like the idea, but I think I got into that when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, and I was trying to do that same thing. Like, let me get my brand and my business to be respected, you know, by doing all these different things, you know, helping the community and doing this and telling the folks like, look, if you support me, I'm supporting all of us. And that's nice. It sounds great. I appreciate it, all the things. But if all that support you're doing is causing your pricing and your quality to not be the forefront and to be able for people to be able to try it, test it out, get it in their hands, or like you said, Sonny, if you're doing all this stuff, and then now you can't afford to have the marketing that you need behind it, or the ambassadors, or the endorsements, you're gonna struggle, you know, or you're gonna have to work super hard and hope that something takes off, something clicks. You know what I'm saying? Like I was looking at this. This was the line I was talking about where he was doing this special line. He's doing this Malcolm X line, and I'm a huge fan and a huge, you know, supporter of the Shabazz family. I actually just went to a event here in the city of Detroit recently where they were doing this whole jazz infusion thing where it was about, you know, Malcolm X and his and the jazz influence on not only him personally, but his movement as well. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, I love what this is about. And
it looks fire. That hoodie looks fire.
Yeah, and the thing is that he not only is doing something like this, you know, with Malcolm X branding on it, but it's in collaboration with the Shabazz family. So, you know, he's got the backing of the Shabazz family. Proceeds benefit the Shabazz Center. You know, it's he calls it a capsule collection, which means that it's going to be super limited edition. All the things. The hoodie's $100. The crew neck is $90. A cap, a snapback cap, $40. Performance tee, $60. Not saying that he should change his prices. That's on him to decide how he wants to do that. But that's what you got to realize is going to price people out, or that you got to realize these consumers are finicky and they're picky. And if they walk in your website and they see, because I'm one of them finicky consumers, I see a t-shirt that's $45, $60. I'm probably not going to buy anything because I'm going to be like, this is not for me. You know, well, I personally won't buy Polo Ralph Lauren at that price either. I didn't buy the HBCU collection. I buy all my Polo in Polo, what is it called? The outlet, Polo outlet, you know? So, but long story short, people who are diehard high fashion kind of people, you gotta get them in the door, in my opinion, my humble opinion. Get them in the door, or push your marketing budget to better support these prices. Make sure somebody, like you said, Sonny, make sure somebody's endorsing this. If you got if this was, instead of whoever homeboy is, he's supposed to be a nice looking model or whatever, that's showing off his arms to show off that just to kind of shirt for you. If this was Dan's and Idris, or if this was even what's his name, homeboy from Vine, King Bach. If this was King Bach, they work out. If they would be in this shirt, somebody's going to buy it. Then somebody's going to be like, oh, King Bach is in this shirt, or King Batch. Sorry, I always say his name wrong. King Batch is in this shirt. Oh, I might check this out. $45. Oh, if King Batch is wearing it, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. You know what I'm saying? Having, for me, the backing of the Shabazz family is kind of enough. I might go ahead and cop something in here anyway, just because it's just.
I'm about to say that hoodie is fire. I ain't even gonna hold
the hoodie is,
it.
The hoodie is definitely doing it for me too.
Yeah, but like even more to your point, like when I started my little gift baskets, I make my baskets. Yes, I'm new at it. I had my little ideas of what I wanted to do, so like that. But at the same time, like people were like, oh, like especially with my Valentine's Day baskets, I really did a number with those. But I got really good reviews from those baskets, even my Father's Day baskets. But I also wanted to, as much as people like, you should charge more because your time, you're working, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I also need to get people to want to purchase my stuff and be able to, like, because like even with my Valentine's Day baskets, you know how many times you go to Valentine's, you see Valentine's Day baskets, they just more for women. Mine was for couples. So now I got to market mine to couples. Like, hey, this is for you. This is the whole vibe situation. This is what's in the basket. Like, if people are like, why you telling everybody what's in the basket? They can see it. No, because some people just want to know what's in there. So I'm telling you what's in there. You can see what's in there. And on top of that, I'm not like outside of me going to look and make sure I got my baskets the way they are. Like they were all exactly like outside of the alcohol that was it, like the wine. And I did like a wine vibe. It was like a chill, play a game, give each other massages. Got some chocolate, teddy bear, a little candle for ambiance. But like this is the vibe for y'all, right? But you have to, as much as you want to charge, like I could have charged $70-something for them baskets. People were telling me $70 for them, but I sold them for like $60. Why? Because it made sense as far as what I spent as a whole for the baskets that I made. But and also I made a little extra more than what I actually spent on the baskets, but you got to price them out, especially when you want people to come back and be like, oh, let me get a basket. I like where you did this basket. So you're constantly showing them what you're going to give them. And then seeing what, like certain things. Yes. Now, if I put alcohol in the basket's going to be more than $50. I'm going to tell you that right now, because alcohol ain't cheap.
Right.
So, but on top of that, depending on what kind of alcohol you're putting in, like wine is not that much, but if it was like alcohol, I'm charging for them baskets because that costs, because I'm including the glasses. You ain't got to buy them. You might have them at home, but these are customized, So like all these different things that I'm doing, this is why you should buy this basket. But like you said, you have to market them right. You have to be able to take a hit if need be to do something, like not take a major hit, but take a hit kind of to get people to see what you're doing. Like I donated one of my baskets for Father's Day. The church, they had like a little raffle thing, right? But it was like it was a grilling basket. I gave it I gave it to them to raffle off, and they made money off it. But now, not only did you see my basket that I put together, but I also got my card in there. So if you need another basket, you right.
So you have to do.
Huh?
That's paid publicity for you, because you gave away money to raffle off a basket for people, and that's how you get your word out. But as far as finances, he was like in a very hard predicament, because you don't want to be too expensive like Ralph Polo and all these other guys who are established being that high, because people are not going to pay that much money for something that's unknown. You want to be too low where you're going to TJ Maxx, and all these other places. So he's trying to start off. It's still kind of pricey for what you're trying to establish, but it's not too low to be cheap.
But
I guess
that's what he's doing. It's the name of who's backing him and who that is. And if you really like Malcolm and his family and want to support, you're going to do it, right?
Right.
Because he does have a major name backing what he's doing. But like you said, people are fickle. People don't want to spend money on. They want discounts. They want some type of something.
And I mean, and that's the thing. Is that a consumer problem? Are we the consumer in the wrong because we expect something because you're new? Do we expect something more for less just because you're new?
I believe it is probably more on the consumer because at the end of the day, like especially with smaller businesses that's not big name, that dollar means something to them to further their business. So you have to. It's like almost having like when we have our friends that are the same color as us, melanin and everything, and they have businesses, and you always look for a discount. Sometimes you need to pay full price because you're really trying to help a business. You're going to pay full price. You're not asking for a discount. You want to support them full force because if how many people I know that drive certain cars or got these name brand things and don't live by themselves, but y'all supporting the hell out of these big name companies, and you could be spending the same money you're gonna spend there with a black person. Right. It's kind of a consumer problem, and I feel like it's also like as the company you have to like it could be like, so even if you wanted to do something, even with that back, and you could say buy two, you get a little discount. If you buy 2 items, because you're priced at that high rate, you could say if you buy 2 items, you get like 5.
People love a little discount. People love a little buy 2.
Yeah, but like that'll get them to buy multiple. So if you buy one, yes, it's full price. Like how stores be doing. If you buy one, full price. But when they had them 3 for $10, and now you know it's a little. It seemed like you getting more, but you're not. You're not.
Exactly.
But you
enjoy the hunt. Like, oh, I got a little deal.
Hey, but maybe that might be an option. But like maybe he wanted to stand on business. I got the backing of the Shabazz family. This is how much my price is. Either you gonna buy or you not. It's very simple.
A lot of people don't know or look at the background of these companies and corporations. They look at it like who is backing, who celebrity they got wearing my clothes. Like, oh man, Kendrick Lamar.
You got to be a celebrity. We got TikTokers, influencers.
No,
social media. Like I said, you could do podcasters that sit around and like how we sit on here and put a shirt on, make sure it's visible. They can see what it is, and then you can say at some point, shameless plug. It's it's on such and such stuff. I got this.
No, I'm just saying, but you get a lot more push.
Yeah, I had.
But you get a lot more push. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, but you get a lot more push for the people that you do know, like other podcasters, people like Kendrick Lamar. I'm not saying that the guy they had Photoshop, in the jersey and the shirts and stuff like that is not a bad person, but a lot of people not going to look up the Shabazz family. And let's be honest, a lot of people don't know who Shabazz family is. This newer generation.
That's true.
So to look up the information behind the people who are buying these products, they're not going to do it. They're just going to look at the shiny object. Person that I like in shiny object.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point, Dame. That's a good point.
That's why I said like getting like a grassroots, not really a grassroots, but like a small person, like especially like a big person on TikTok that's a good creator. You can find black TikTokers that got a whole good enough amount of followers that they rocking your stuff. Every time they do a TikTok video, somebody's asking them what they're wearing. Because like I said, I wore my little, I do my little TikToks in the bathroom, and I have my little pajama, I got my pajama shirt that says "sleep all day." Somebody, how many TikToks I got in me in the bathroom doing that? I be asking somebody asked me about my shower curtain once.
Oh yeah,
they liked it, and I'm like, I got it off of Amazon. Like it's here's the link. Like. But like that's something that
you gotta monetize that link.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But like that's more to the like when you buy stuff off TikTok, they ask you to review it. Like you could get paid off. So like this is like it doesn't have to be like this top name celebrity, especially if you can't get and you don't got that celebrity money. But you could send a TikToker that has so many amount of followers and send them a free thing and ask them to promote your business. And then if they do it, hey, can you become a brand ambassador? So now every time you're doing TikTok, you basically either wearing the outfit because you could sign up to be a brand ambassador.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, like if you need to be a brand ambassador, I got you, homie. But I also think that also think that it's one of those things where consumers, do need a bit of push or education or whatever the case may be. I mean, to Dane's point, not every consumer knows, the Shabazz family is Malcolm X's family. Some people don't realize that, or some people don't know because they're not that deep into it, or it's been so far removed for them. I mean, I think there's a big comeback, which I appreciate, of education and knowledge about Brother Shabazz, but I think it's one of those things where you got to be paying attention, and consumers are not the best at paying attention. They pay attention with their money, but they don't really, research or look into things and that kind of thing. They're more worried about, like you said, Sonny, are they getting what they want? Are they getting the deals they want? And are they seeing the people that they want in that, situation? And if it's not hot to them, it's not hot. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's there's got to be a breaking point. Where do we draw the line at?
Want that hoodie though? If you got my birthday coming up, I'll take that hoodie.
Yeah, I know, right? Me too.
In the men's medium.
Where do we draw the line at support and backing Black-owned businesses versus cost, and pricing and revenue. I think there does have to be kind of a fine line there, but again, it's not for us to decide as the consumers what your price point is. Like you said, Sonny, it's one of those things that they do have to be comfortable and stand on business of where they are, or just be creative with it. Maybe get creative with it. Yeah, some people don't want to cheapen their brand. I think you were saying that, Dame. You don't want to cheapen your brand and make people feel like, oh, this is just some Target or not even Target, TJ Maxx type stuff. You definitely don't want to be like that, but you also don't want to alienate, your potential consumers either. That's just how I feel. All right.
I'll take that hoodie for my birthday and Mother's Day. I'm just saying.
Sonny like, hey, you might as well plug it.
Yeah, I'll plug it because Malcolm X is he a Taurus.
Oh yeah.
I have to. His birthday day after mine.
Well, I gotta say, if y'all want to support us, we have merchandise too. We got it may not be high fashion, but it's great fashion.
And I
support us over at gftradio.creator-spring.com. Hell yeah, Dame got one of the shirts on. And we got logos, we got apparel with sayings on it, we got all kinds of stuff. So make sure you guys
mugs and everything.
Right, accessories, mugs. I still use one of my drinking glasses. I usually have it down here, but yeah, it's probably in the dishwasher right now. Make sure you get over to our website, gftradioshow.com, for all of our socials, all of our replays, all of our links, and join the conversation group over at facebook.com/group/join the conversation, where you'll be able to find different posts and different topics that we're discussing over there. Make sure you hit us up free on demand, all your favorite audio podcast platforms. Or watch free video replays over at
IT issues, and he can't even think no more. Poor baby.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hashtag for you. Hashtag 94.
Hey. Sonny, tell the folks where they can find you.
Y'all can find me damn near everywhere. I am Sonny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I can't even say it now. Twitter, TikTok, and Threads. And follow me follow Main Character Energy Podcast. Next episode, March drops March 14th on the Know It All Network. Go to unreservedlyme.com. I am so excited. I had a ball this weekend recording that episode 3. Super excited for y'all to see it.
For sure. Dang, tell the folks where they can find you.
You can find me at Another Level Up on Instagram, Shinlo21 on Xbox and Twitch Network, and Dame on TikTok.
For sure. And it's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Styles on IG and Threads and Twitter. Willie.Styles on Snapchat and TikTok. Visit me over at stylesradio.com for all the hot tracks that I'm listening to. WillieStyles.info for all my links. Another great show, another great program. Appreciate y'all for joining us. Make sure y'all hit like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make sure you come back here next week. See y'all later. Enjoy.
Yo, it's your boy Dame here.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D.
Yo, it's your boy Smooth from the GFT Radio Network.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building.
Join us Mondays at 10 p.m. live on Twitch, YouTube, and our Facebook. And if you miss us, don't worry. You can catch it on our website, gftradioshow.com. And if you feel like talking to us every day, join our Facebook group.
At Join the Conversation, the group where you can discuss all kinds of topics.
Catch me also, Fans Perspective, Dope Sports Show. Holla at your boy.
You can cop some merchandise over at our store, teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. You can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, masks, and even more.
Next time on GFT Radio, what are we talking about? Join the conversation to find out.
Make sure you get at us on GFTRadioshow.com for all of our audio and video playbacks, as well as links to all of our social media sites.